Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 36 of the Carrie Rolled On Show, where we spend 30 minutes or so a week having conversations that matter to the entrepreneur's body, mind, and business. I'm your host, Carrie Rolled On, and I'm a wife, a mother, a best-selling author, a personal growth junkie, a product launch Wonder Woman, and your total business BFF, which of course stands for Best Friend Forever. And you guys, I fancy myself an intuitive business muse, which means that I help entrepreneurs to find their niche, create an offer that serves that niche, and launch it online authentically and profitably. So if any one of these 3 steps sounds like right what you need right now in your business, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'd like you, since it's summer and I'm not doing free strategy sessions, if it's something that you absolutely know you need, send me an email, coachcarrierolledon@gmail.com. So that is coach and my name, carrierolledon@gmail.com, and we'll set a time to connect and chat. Okay, so I created the Carrie Rolled On Show because I have stumbled, you guys, and I continue to on my entrepreneurial journey because the road to success thus far has been full of potholes, detours, and dead ends. Not to mention self-doubt, fear, worry, debt. I'm laughing at my dog Socks, who I forgot to put out. Marital tension, and personal struggle. And I wanted to share what I continue to learn on my journey with you guys in the hopes that it will help you guys too. Because I know you know this, online entrepreneurhood can be a really lonely place. And I'm on a mission to help us connect. So you guys, it is the first Wednesday of the month, which is quickly becoming my most popular show and is, I think, my favorite Wednesday of the month because it is special series time. We are in month 5. So we're in the 5th chakra of the entrepreneurial journey to wealthy through the chakras with Cindia Carrere. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Those of you who watch me know this takes me like an excruciatingly long amount of time. All right, so I'm sharing a screen that is not the screen I want to share with you. And Cindy, if you could please mute, that would be helpful. But here it is, and I'll make it big for you. Here we are, the entrepreneurial journey to wealthy through the chakras with Intuitive for Entrepreneurs, Cindia Carrere. And if you haven't been following us along on the journey, this is what we've gone through so far. So wealthy is an acronym for women and worth, entrepreneur, abundance, love, trust your gut, health and happiness, and yes, that yes energy. And we've been on a journey through the chakras. If you're familiar with the chakras, we start from the bottom up. So we have gone through the yes energy, the health and happiness component, the trust your gut component, right? These are all components of living this wealthy life that we're seeking. We went through the love component, the heart chakra last week, and we have reached the 5th chakra, the throat chakra, where it looks like our abundance lives. At least that's what Cindia's got in the 5th chakra acronym. So I'm going to stop my screen share. I actually have to find... All right, yay, you can see my face again. So instead of actually, oftentimes at this point of the show, I will read the introduction that I have written on the Google Plus event page to sort of frame the conversation. But I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous, you guys, because I like to do these shows with Cindia. I like to keep them at 45 minutes, and I only have a half hour today. And talk about what so many of you saw in the trailer video for this show. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'll just recap real quickly, which is this. I believe that entrepreneurhood itself is on a journey. And Cindy and I have talked a lot about it. It's not just us as entrepreneurs who are on this journey. And we've talked about how our business is birth for so many of us who consider ourselves heart-centered entrepreneurs. Our business has been birthed out of answering the call of our soul, out of us recognizing that we need to align our life's work and what brings us income, that we no longer want to keep our job separate from what makes our heart sing. And there are so many of us who are on this entrepreneurial journey to do that, and Cindia says it's because it's not a coincidence. It's because entrepreneurhood itself is changing and the energy of money is moving through the chakras. And so if you haven't watched episodes, the first 4 in this series, I encourage you to head on over to my YouTube page, and there's a whole playlist, and I have put the link in the description, and I'll try and put it below after the show's over today. But I have a whole playlist with all of these entrepreneurial journey to wealthy shows. But I think what I will do is just introduce Cindia, and we can sort of start right there. I am so excited to jump into the 5th chakra because, 1, I know this is a really important and powerful one for me, and 2, Cindia and I in my private session yesterday discovered something pretty cool that I really want to share with you. So if you've never heard of Cindia Carrere and you're not going crazy listening to my dog bark and the trash man outside, let me tell you a little bit about my dear friend who is an intuitive for entrepreneurs. Cindia has a really unique gift of being able to see our personal energy grids. It's really loud where I am. She can see what's going on in our energy. She can see what's going on in the energy grid that each and every one of us has around us, and has a unique gift of being able to pinpoint right where we're blocked and help us remove that block. And if you watch my show at all, you know I like constantly bring her up. I go on and on about her, but the biggest thing that I keep coming back to is I know for certain if I hadn't have done the work with Cindia, I would not still be in business. She has, doing the work that I've done with her has been pivotal in the success that I've been experiencing over the past like 6 months to a year. So on that note, I'm going to put Cindia's beautiful face on the screen and mute myself so you can't hear the trash man, and we'll get started. So hello, Cindia.
Hi, Carrie. I have to start out with saying I just think you look so beautiful today. You always do, but you just look so beautiful today. That color is stunning on you.
Oh, well, and likewise, because we're wearing the same color, and yeah, Cindia looks stunning. I absolutely love the hairdo, and I must say, I'm kind of glowing right now, but it's really because I'm sweating. So before we get going with that, I just want to give a shout out to the people who are here. Dave, I'm so excited, and Dave says, it isn't just me, and I'm not sure what he's saying that to, but either way, no, Dave, you are not alone. Vivekananda is here asking if it's live, and he has refreshed his browser a few times. So yes, we are live. Oh dear. Well, we are live according to my computer. I'm seeing that there is a please stand by message, and all I can say to that, you guys, is Google's been having some hiccups lately. I think they're in the middle of an update. So what I'm feeling is that it might suddenly go live on your screens, or it will all be there eventually in replay. But I see on my screen that we're recording, so Cindy and I are going to head on over, or keep on going, I think is the best way to say it. So Cindia, talk to me. I think I did an okay job of framing this journey through the chakras. So can you talk to me specifically about this 5th chakra and what happens there, and why we as entrepreneurs who are really understanding that our business is our spiritual practice, why we ought to be aware of and pay attention to it?
Yes, you did a good job. And I wanted to just remind people, if they have been following with this or if you're new, that not only is the entrepreneurial journey itself a spiritual practice, as we've talked about, but it is shifting, and money itself is being rebranded. It has been made and kept in the lower chakras or the lower vibrational energies for centuries. And now with all the heart-centered entrepreneurs, it is making its way up through the chakras into the heart. And we are having to clear the heart space to make room for it. And there's so much that stuff comes up of personal stuff that needs to be healed and cleared, except it's no longer a secret. It's no longer shameful. So we're going to jump now to the throat chakra. It's the next one. And while there's a lot of issues that happen in the heart, heartbreak at the same time as wanting to be open, The throat chakra is the bridge between the heart and the head. That is a huge thing to understand and acknowledge. And so it's the connecting point to where our head literally, as you see that it sits off our bodies. And so the fifth chakra is an area that gets a lot of the fallout. So as we are heart-centered or trying to center our heart, so much of the stuff that we have felt can get blocked right in here. And so the message of the chakra is to be able to speak one's truth. And that is so important. And there's a great quote by Mark Twain that says, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. And I love that quote.
Sorry, Cindy and I are going back and forth unmuting ourselves because we've had a little bit of feedback. But yes, I love that quote too, and I've not said it quite that way to my children, but but it is the same. Like, if you never lie, you never have to keep track of your elaborate story. So I'm with you there. That I can obviously see that if you tell the truth, you're going to keep that chakra clean. But as I know, we've talked about that it is expression. Your throat chakra is expression, and I'm just thinking about how important that is for those of us who have a message to put out there in the world.
Oh, I would say then, a lot. So the throat chakra, as you said, is about expression. And so there's creativity in the second chakra. But each of our chakras do not work alone. They work in concert and in harmony with each other. At least that's the goal. So while there is creativity in the lower chakras, this is where we often express it. And so as you'll notice, in our five senses, even though we're dealing with energy and all kinds of stuff, our five senses are really located right in this area: sight, smell, hearing, speaking, and then feeling. And so there's such a concentrated area here. And we touched on that it's so important to speak one's truth. And there's a lot of talk about being authentic and showing up as your real self. But it's more than just, this is my truth, okay? We might have not been able to express our truth, but it isn't about just only speaking our truth. It's about being able to hear and listen to somebody else's truth, even if they're not the same, and to have respect for that. And that's what a lot of the heart-centered people are doing, is opening up the heart space and this whole communication space to be able to express what's going on in the heart, and then to be able to hold that space for others. So it's about community and sharing. And part of that community, whether it's in the entrepreneurial realm or not, the throat chakra is activated by speaking and singing and prayer and chanting and expressing gratitude. And I'm just going to turn it over.
Yeah, so you got me with some interesting stuff there, which is, so a lot of it's not surprising, right? It's our throat, it's a lot of speaking, but what you got me and expressing, and it makes total sense to me that singing in the shower might help open up my throat chakra, and I'd never thought about the chanting, but now that is super clear to me. But the thing that I found really interesting was about the listening component, that the throat, we keep talking about the throat, but I know you talked in the green room, you were talking to me about how our throat chakra, more than just, expression, lives there, right? That it's more of the senses live in the fifth chakra than just the throat. But I specifically want to talk, so I'm wondering if you can tie this together, about how listening, what that has to do with the word abundance that we put in the, on our little Entrepreneurial Journey to Wealthy acronym. So I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, well, we create our universe, our own universes, through what we think, feel, and say. And as I mentioned before, the throat is the bridge between the head and the heart. So if we're taking in messages from the time we were little, that's going to influence how we think, and how we think creates our feelings. So if we want to change those messages, it happens in this area. We've got to have new information inputting, right, to be able to then speak. There are proverbs that say I'm sorry, I'm kind of faltering here, but the truth comes out from the heart. I should have written that out, but from the abundance, the heart speaks. So whatever is really in here is what comes out. And so what we spend our time ingesting, it can be food, and that reflects in our bodies, or what we drink, or what we, take into our bodies chemical wise will be revealed. But it's also the kind of television and the news and kind of books or video games or anything that people are consuming. So when they intake it, it's going to, do its business in there, and then it will be like blah, what comes out. And it all ties into how we think, how we feel, and how we create our universe.
Okay, so this is really, really cool stuff, and I know that there are a whole bunch of you who are just now listening to my dog go crazy, and just now joining us because for some reason the live broadcast had a huge delay. So I just want to stop right here, Cindia, and say hello to everybody who has finally been able to see us live. So I know Susan's here, Dana's here, Marcus is here. I've said hello to Vivekananda before. Lisa Anna Palmer is here. She's one of our faves. Dave Moore is saying it's alive. So just a sigh of relief over here for me, because I've been like sort of tap dancing, trying to see what you guys are saying, and also pay attention to what Cindia is saying and make sure that we are delivering the content that we have promised. So if you're just joining us live, please make sure when this broadcast is over, you head back to the very beginning, because of course we did an amazing job of framing this all up. But where we are right now is in sort of the importance of the throat chakra and what we keep there. And Cindia, you said something important, right? At least it hit me in an important way, that what we think, feel, and say creates our universe, right? And so much, I'm getting very clearly that so much of what we ingest, whether it's media, whether it's, what we're watching on the news, what we're hearing, and what we're saying and what other people are saying to us, that it's all coming into us from that fifth chakra. Am I accurate there?
Very good. And I just wanted to add that our words are one of our most powerful assets, okay? And so we've all heard of blessing, and we've all heard of curses. That's all done verbally. If someone is really negative and dark and they're angry and they cast negative words, or if someone is full of light and love and they cast a blessing, that is all through our words. And there's that little saying that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Hello, I'm on my phone calling BS because, words do hurt, okay? People take them in, and they can nurture, and they can refresh, and they can be such a source of inspiration, or they can be like knives and daggers and wound. So words are extremely powerful, and words are all created right in here from the heart and from what we take in and what we put back out.
Mute myself. Okay, so that is reminding me of two things that have happened for me recently, and with we only have about 10 minutes left, and Cindia has this great clearing statement for us, which I think is going to be perfect as we use our words to like open up and clear in this specific chakra. But so I want to just give you real quick the two things that have happened to me. Is one, last week, for the first time since I've been like using Hangouts as a tool, and it's been almost a year. It'll be a year in August that I started my show and have been sort of out there on Hangouts. I received some hurtful words. I received some criticism, and you're right. Like, even though I have the perspective of understanding not everybody's going to like me and not everybody has to like me, and just all of it, I did feel really, really hurt. I experienced the pain, the hurt from those words, excuse me, and that just happened right in my throat chakra. And then and then the next thing that I wanted to say is, yesterday in my session with Cindia, there was like, it was an epiphany for me. It may have just been a statement for her, but it was some like massive wisdom. So I'm just wanting you, Cindia, to share that wisdom. I don't know if you want me to frame it to the thing about internal wealth. If you could frame that, and then I know you have some amazing clearing statements, or an amazing clearing statement for all of us to do together. So this is like a sweet little bonus you all get for being here live. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Cindia. Tell everyone about that, what happened to me yesterday.
Okay, so we talk a lot about value and worth, and that gets stuck here too. People don't know their own worth, and so they're either self-critical and on. But beyond self-worth, we're here to be entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs, money is a part of that. It's about being in business, sharing our message, and being well compensated, and being able to continue that cycle and compensate others very well too. So what I've been discovering, and what's been coming into me, and what I've been seeing from clients, is that people are wanting money. They're wanting abundance, but it still seems as though it's an external thing, that someone or something outside of oneself is the one that is withholding it. And so it's almost like, you know, trying to go out and find or pick dollar bills off a tree or something. Like it grows externally through somebody else's planting. And what has been shown to me is that we have something called internal wealth, and that is the sum of everything that is us. It's our character, it's our personality traits, it's who we are as people, it's the experiences we have, it's the relationships we've cultivated, it's our skills and our talents. And money is simply an outpouring. It's a symptom, and it's an expression of our internal wealth. So if we mine what is ours, if we show the world who we are authentically, and we show up as ourselves, and we speak our truth, and we're willing to hear and listen to other people's truth, then when we're cultivating and paying attention to what's inside and loving our own internal wealth and appreciating it, just like a painter, when they paint or take a picture or sculpt, they are creating and expressing something from inside of themselves. And money is no different. Money is simply an expression of what's inside that has radiated outward, and we are reaping the benefits of that.
So I hear you on that. It's not that I don't understand it. It's that I feel like, and I'm so cognizant of the time, but I feel like I've heard that before, right? That I've heard that idea of, you know, just focus on what you love and the money will come, or just do what feels right to you and the money will come. And yet I know that watching this show today, and excuse me while I wipe the sweat off my nose, watching this show today, there are lots and lots and lots of struggling solopreneurs saying, but that's what I'm doing. I'm trying so hard. I'm doing what I love, or I'm trying to do what I love, and where is the money? And I know I'm doing a little bit of devil's advocate here, because how many times have you heard me say that, Cindia? And the idea yesterday that hit me really, really hard is this thing that you said, and I wrote it down again: mine what is ours. And I got this image of like digging past all the dirt and clutter that I've put on top of this beautiful, shining, brilliant, like, you know, almost like blinding diamond gem or whatever that is inside of me. And so I'm sort of just restating what you said, but I think what I want is a little bit of more clarification, or can you say it another way? Is that an odd request? Sorry.
No. What's interesting is that most people, we're ushering in a new energy, and most people are still carrying the old belief that making money has to be hard and it's a struggle, and if it comes easy, that's hinky. What's going on? If it just comes too easy, there's got to be a hitch or a catch. And you know, you've said very permission that I can talk about what's going on with you. You get plenty of offers and work for the stuff that you do best. But there's a part of you that still doesn't believe that has value and that's as easy. So you do end up creating a bunch of barriers, and you're like pushing the money and clients away that come to you for what you do best. And so you still are not truly seeing or recognizing with clarity that what you do best and what's easy for you is your pathway to abundance. So you're still looking to make it hard and challenging. So the money comes in when you're doing it your way. So in this entrepreneurial journey, I have spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on training, and I keep getting told you have to do it exactly this way. And when I do it exactly that way, I kind of tend to fall on my face. But when I have just done it my way, what feels natural, that's when the money comes in. And so part of that is being authentically real and authentically you, and not just trying to figure out what's going to make money and how can I do that, but really genuinely what brings you joy. What is it that you do that brings you pleasure that you would do for free, and allowing that to come in, and trusting that if you are truly doing it with joy, not with fear, not with worry, not with anger, not pricing it in such a way that you're angry at all the people who show up because you've priced it too low, and you're angry at all the people who didn't show up and buy it. But if you're doing what you truly love with joy, there's a lot more support out there than you know, just in visible form. It will show up.
Oh, I wish you guys could have seen me just a minute ago. I hope that what Cindia just said hit the rest of you the way that it hit me, because I am obviously being very vulnerable and live, but I'm still clearing some stuff around that and around my own worth and own value. And yeah, those of you who watch me regularly, you know I talk about it a lot. Like, why do I take something easy and try and make it so hard? And that, even just what you just said to me, Cindia, I just felt like a wave of peace, and sort of this, like, I believe that actually something was cleared in that moment that you just spoke those words to me, because of the way that my body responded. So I want to use that as a beautiful segue, an unintentional but perfect segue into the clearing statement that you have for all of us, because I really do want everybody to experience what it is like to get your energy. Oh, and Lisa Anna's saying she felt it too, so yay! But what it is like to experience that shift in your energy just through the power of the words and the energy behind them. So I know you have a statement for us, and I also just want to show everybody this link. It's carrieroldan.com/quantum leap, and Cindia has a gift for you there that you guys are gonna just flip out over. So I'm gonna flip over to her and let her explain the gift, and then we'll hop into the clearing statement.
All right, I have to make this very quick, but over the past year, I have been gifted and downloaded with high frequency statements to help use our words to clear. They are more than affirmations. Affirmations do plant seeds in the consciousness and field of all possibilities, but these high frequency statements do the added thing of clearing. And all you have to do is follow along with Carrie. I'm going to say this one time first so that you can get the overall feeling, and then I will say it in little bite-sized phrases, and Carrie will repeat after me. And please, you repeat them too if we have your permission. We're going to do the group benefit here of everybody receiving the same energy. So if you put your hand over your heart, that releases oxytocin, which is the feel-good hormone and a neurotransmitter. So this will help create a new neural pathway. And when you say this out loud, it gives yourself permission, and it invites the higher energies in, which help then break up the lower density energies of blockages. So I'm going to go ahead and say it, and this is about for becoming visible, and it's about this area. So ready? As a free will being, I intentionally choose to step forward in the light to be seen, heard, and understood. I hereby cancel and rescind any and all contracts, known and unknown, that have kept me invisible. Furthermore, let it be known that I am speaking my truth, owning my power, and claiming my brilliance with confidence and love. Thank you. So Carrie, it might be a little awkward, but I'm going to say a few words, and then you repeat them back to me, okay? As a free will being,
as a free-willed being,
I intentionally choose to step forward.
I intentionally choose to step forward.
Into the light.
Into the light.
To be seen, heard, and understood.
To be seen, heard, and understood.
I hereby cancel and rescind.
I hereby cancel and rescind
any and all contracts.
Any and all contracts.
Known and unknown.
Known and unknown.
That have kept me invisible.
That have kept me invisible.
Furthermore, let it be known.
Furthermore, let it be known.
That I am speaking my truth.
That I am speaking my truth.
Owning my power.
Owning my power.
And claiming my brilliance and confidence with love.
And claiming my brilliance and confidence with love.
Thank you.
Thank you. So guys, I'm hoping, oh Cindia, can you mute real quick? I'm hoping that you did that with us. If you didn't, I highly encourage you to go to the replay and do that. Follow along, because I intentionally left my face on the screen while that was happening, which was a slightly vulnerable moment for me, but I really wanted you to see the change that happened in me just by putting my hand over my heart and speaking those words. And I'm sure that you have heard it in my voice inflection. And I just want to, I have until 11:15. I have to be on another call, so I'm going to go a few minutes over because I want to acknowledge some of your brilliant and amazing comments. And I do, if you haven't already gone over to carrieroldan.com/quantum leap, you're going to see Cindia's gift there. But I just want to see what people are saying. First of all, Marcus and Cindia, this hit me. Well, what did I just do? Hold on. I think I scrolled to the wrong. Oh, here he is. Okay. Marcus says this, which it hit me exactly the same way. It says, money comes in when you're doing it your way. Now, that's a great takeaway, Cindia Carrere. And I want you to know that I had the same thing. Like, I wrote it down when you said it, and I immediately thought Frank Sinatra. In like, oh yeah, I gotta listen to that and it's about standing in my power and doing it my way. And I don't know, many of you are maybe seeing the shift that's happening in me as I'm speaking this. Like, I feel like I'm standing in my power much more than I was at the beginning of this show. And I want to acknowledge what Susan said right now. Oh, Dana's saying how much she absolutely loves this, and that it's not just about the cliche to follow your passions and you will succeed. It's about absorbing and using strategies that feel right to you and what you do and love to do. And I just think that's the same thing they're talking about when you were saying that you can get advice from the gurus, but you still need to do it your way. So last thing, I'm going to put Susan's up here. Susan says, thanks, Cindia and Carrie. It is so helpful for me to hear that others struggle with this so much. Susan, that's why I do the show. And since that's not my path, it helps clarify how I am in service to others. So yay, Susan, good. And that's the whole point. That's why we're all here, is to recognize we're so not alone on this entrepreneurial journey. And we are. I mean, those of us who are out there, those of us heart-centered entrepreneurs, we're at the forefront of this evolving thing that's happening in entrepreneurialism. And I believe that's why a lot of us are struggling, is we're in new territory. So we've been talking a lot about this territory in the whole series. I will find that playlist, or you can go to my YouTube channel and you'll see there's a playlist for Entrepreneurial Journey to Wealthy. If you haven't seen all of them, I encourage you to watch them because they're awesome, they're brilliant. And then I would love to send you to carrierolledon.com/quantum leap so you can get these statements from Cindia. So I want to give Cindia one last chance to say, you know, her goodbyes and parting words. And then there is a lot of discussion on this today. So Cindia, I know we've hit something. Cindy and I will both find time today and make sure that we are responding to your comments. So Cindia, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you. Okay, so you guys, if you go to that link, you guys can download 10 free high-frequency statements. All of them will resonate. Some of them will resonate, and you just go ahead and read them and speak them out loud. And people are writing in like crazy that things have shifted and changed, and they had no idea that it would evolve that quickly. People get clarity overnight. One person was reading them, and money came to her literally. She was like, "What?" I mean, it was fun and crazy. So I mean, all results are different, but people feel the shift. But what I really want to close with and say is that it's great that we have all these people out here who are telling people how to run their business. That's important. We need that. And huge capital letters, and we need you. We don't need clones. We don't need replicates, duplicates, triplicates. We need you, okay? Because people are going to respond to what you have to say. Not one person fits all. So if you have a message, if you have something in your heart that you want and need to say, please step out and share it, because there's more than 7 billion people on this planet, and you are going to be a fit for part of those 7 billion people. So we need you. Be yourself.
Oh, so good, my friend. I just love it. And there have been several times in this episode where I have just felt, I mean, just that very thing when you said, we need you. There's lots of people doing lots of things, but we need you. Again, I felt it. I felt the peace, I felt the shift, and I felt the clearing. And this might be too much information, but I also had a little belch. And I worked with Cindia long enough to know that is actually energy shifting and clearing and moving out. So you guys, now I'm going to yawn. If you are yawning or burping or going through any of this, these are all really good signs that the energy is shifting and moving in you and things are happening. So if you haven't already, head over to carrierolledon.com/quantum leap. That's where you can get Cindia's gift of the clearing statements to you. Do it. Do it with your hand over your heart. Say it out loud. You might feel a little bit silly, but when you start burping and yawning, you'll be like, yes, score. Things are moving. So, or if money comes to your PayPal account while you're saying it, it's all good. So on that note, you guys, I have to hop on over somewhere else. I'm so appreciative of all of you who are here live. And just, you know, stay open and aware for the Carrie Rolled On show. I normally am weekly Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. However, if you can't hear those high heels clunking around in the background, we're on summer break here in my household, and I've been a little bit more sporadic over the summer. But that's why I'm so grateful that there's so many of you here live, and I just want to say here's a great big virtual hug from me. I will invite you all again soon, and if you are just jonesing for some more Carrie Rolled On, go to my YouTube channel. I'll post the link in the comment section. Please subscribe. I would just love to bring you all kinds of wonderfulness. So on that note, thank you, Cindia. Thank you all, and we will see you in an upcoming episode.